Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel Accounts Guru Cool. Learn accounting online. So today we are here with one more video, and this is as well we have created based on the request of one of our viewers, knowing that to how we have to take the interview of the accounting and finance teams, and related to that, what sort of questions we have to ask every times when we are going to conducting any interview related to accounting and finance person. So being interviewed, it's essential to know that what sort of questions you have to ask when you are going to be, when you are the non finance background persons and going to be attained, be from the as an interviewee, then you also need to ask certain questions from your end. So how you're going to ask that questions. So here we are with the 10 accounting interview questions to ask every time. And we are going to discuss about that, why we have to ask that questions, what's the intent and what we are going to know from that. And it's this video is going to be helped to the interviewee and interviewer as well. So from the interviewer standpoint, he is also able to know that what sort of questions are going to be expected or expecting in the interview, and how you have to be give the answer for that. So request viewers to watch this video till the end to get in more clarity about that. What are all the 10 accounting interview questions to ask every time? And might be you already face the such kind of questions into the interview. So request viewers to like the video, share the video, and subscribe our channel to get the more practical knowledge related to accounting and finance. Yeah, it's taking so much. It's taking too much time to create the videos, but we are going to back again with our old rhythm. That's every day one insight input from our end, and we have been involved into a couple of other activities as well, and that's going to be helpful for all of our viewers. And very soon, so we are going to give an update to all of our viewers as well, what's going on. And in addition to that, if you want to connect with us to go through with the any sort of training related to accounting and finance, as a technical training or software training, or if you're looking for any sort of consultancy related to accounting and finance, or if you're looking for any financial advisory related to your career growth and you're related to your accounting as well. So you can connect with us on our email ID, that's accounts.gurukul@yahoo.com. So 10 accounting interview question to ask every time. Knowing the right accounting interview question to ask job candidates can mean the difference between the hiring a superstar and bringing the wrong person on board at your small business. That's the truth, because as earlier mentioned as well, I was taking care to hiring the people as well into accounting and finance when I was into the systems, and sorry, and used to took the too many interviews. So it's a true fact is that to ask job candidates can mean the difference. So it's going to be uh, it's a truth is that knowing the right accounting interview question to ask job candidates can mean the difference between the hiring a superstar and bringing the wrong persons on board at your small business. And considering that there is one, I just still recall that we have the one video uploaded, is that the consequences of the bad hire. So that's based on this such a practical things which to ensure that how you have to keep in mind the what are all the consequences you have to bear if you have the bad hiring. So yeah, considering to that, this is the one more in parallel to that to give the more insight about the interview, to ask the good questions, right questions to bring superstar instead of to bringing the wrong person on a board at your small business or your medium business. Recording. So we have identified the 10 good queries to pose to job candidates the next times you have an accounting or finance role to staff. Assessing and application skills. Assessing and application skills. When you are trying to gauge a candidate's technical skills, it's often best to ask straightforward accounting interview questions, but you can also learn something about applicants' soft skills with these types of queries. Here are 4 interview questions to ask that will help you evaluate a person's core competencies. First, out of this 10, how do you stay up to date on current accounting laws and regulations? Might be there is immediately click something in your mind is that, yeah, I know that this is the same questions asked interview to me in my last to last interview. For every interview, he used to ask me the same questions. How do you stay up to date on current accounting laws and regulations? Yeah, that's truth. Yes, that's a true fact, because knowing that, being an employer, to have an idea how you yourself keep up to date on the current accounting laws and regulations, it's a fair justification, fair ask from the employer. And being the employee, being the interviewee, or interviewee, you have to give the answer for this, right? To know that, being the interviewer, he's putting the expectation, says that how do you stay up to date on current accounting laws and regulations, knowing that the way it's every day there are certain changes is there into accounting and finance, either taxation, either accounting, lots of rules regulations is changing, then you have to be up to date with that current affairs, what's going on, and how you're going to keep up to date yourself. That's a fair questions. And given the rate of change in the accounting and finance industry, it's crucial to hire accounting and finance professionals who make a point of staying informed. Top candidates will be able to tell you how they monitor the latest development, whether it's through subscription to industry publications, membership in professional organizations, or attendance at accounting conference and webinars. So being the interviewer and being the interviewee, you both are able to know that why these questions is important. And being interviewer, if you are if you are going to give the interview, then you are able to know that how you have to give the answer for this. There's a top candidate will able to tell you that how they monitor the latest development, whether it's through subscriptions to industry publications, memberships in professional organizations, or attendance and accounting conference and webinars. But it's important to know that how you keep yourself up to date on current accounting laws and regulation. What are the top 3 skills every good accountant has? In response to these interview questions, applicants will typically name what they think are their 3 best attributes. Look for candidates who focus on a mix of hard skills, such as knowledge of a big data concept, and softer attributes like business acumen, communication skills, and customer service skills. That's very important, because when you ask such kind of questions, what are the top 3 skills every good accountant has? He is able to give the answer from his end. What are all the best attributes, best qualities he has to being a good accountant? Top applicants will include examples of how they have demonstrated and developed these skills in past jobs. What type of accounting software have you used in previous jobs? Include this is your list of accounting interview question to ask, because you will learn whether a candidate already knows the system you use at your firm, or whether training during the first day on the job will be required. This is required. This is mandatory questions to know that what are all the softwares he work, and if you have some different softwares and he work onto the different software, then it's going to be have a training for that. And if it's a similar software, then it's a win-win situation for you. Obviously, it's a preferable for a potential hire to be familiar with your software, but don't automatically discount those who aren't. Instead, ask them a follow-up question about how easily they learn new technology, so you will have a sense of their ability to get up to speed. It's always preferable to have that candidate should be familiar with your softwares, but if it's not, then also there is no need to that much worry about that. You need to ask the questions how quickly he is able to get up to speed. Give me examples of the types of reports you generated in your last job. Like the previous question, this query will provide insight into a candidate's experience and whether it fits well with the job duties of the open positions. If you're looking for someone to generate income and cash flow statements, for example, it's good to know how or if a candidate has prepared these types of reports in the past. So it's essential to ask these questions. Give me examples of the types of the reports you generated in your last job. So that's going to be able to know that how he is well-versed, experienced with that, and how he prepared that report. And if you're expecting something different, then you need to think for that. But if it's a matching with your expectations and what you are expecting from that, then that's going to be helpful for you. Determining the fit with your accounting team. Candidates who have all the necessary technical and soft skills must also be able to prosper in the work environment at your company. Accounting interview questions that query applicants about a variety of potential scenarios they are likely to face on the job can help you better assess their fit for your office. Here are a few good interview questions to ask to assess how a candidate is likely to handle various on the job situations and his or her potential fit with your existing team. The fifth, tell me about a time when you made an accounting error and explain how you handled it. Look for candidates who admit that they occasionally make mistakes but quickly move to own up to the error and correct it as best they can. Be wary of any candidates who says they have never made a mistake. So it's essential to know from the candidates as well either he do mistakes or did mistakes in his work, and if it's yes, then how he handled that. And if someone is saying that he haven't done any mistakes, then there might be he's talking into the different ways, and you have to be more conscious for that. But knowing that if he did the mistakes and how he handled that, that's going to give the insight to you how he is able to correct at his end as well, and how oftenly he do the mistakes. Tell me about your experience presenting financial data to non-financial staff. This is really, I love these questions because the the way we have to tackle with the non-financial staff, and you can see the non-financial management team. That's very essential skills as on dates to need to have with the accounting and finance teams. And the way I interacted with the non-financial staff, so I know that how much is the essential you need to learn these skills, how you are able to present with the non-financial staff. So these days, accounting and finance professionals have to discuss financial data and report with the co-workers outside their immediate department on a regular basis. So it's important to hire professionals who feel comfortable with these tasks. So I work in Fortune 500, and I used to do the reporting. I was part of the FP&A team as well as finance planning and analysis for a few, yeah, it's more than 9 to 10 months. And during that period, it's essential to connect with all the leaders from the different departments. So and these guys are not that much familiar with the accounting and finance, so that's a non-financial staff, non-technical staff related to accounting and finance, and then to present your numbers and explain to them was the it's a different skills is required for that. But yes, I enjoyed a lot, and still I have a good connect with them. So that's also the one of the good skills you have to be have with to how you are going to do the presenting financial data to non-financial staff. These interview questions can help you understand more about their communication skills and experience in presenting informations. Describe a time when you met a particular tight deadline and explain how you did it. Accounting and finance professionals often have to turn out important reports quickly. The answer to these questions will demonstrate how a candidate responds to deadline pressures and stress. I think this accounting and finance plus deadlines, we have to create something different words related to accounting and finance, because every month, every day, there is certain deadlines are going to be there. And there are a number of examples we are able to give it for such kind of scenarios. But yes, you have to think what's best from your end, and you have to give the answer for this to describe the time when you met a particular tight deadlines and explain how you did it. So it's going to give the insight to the uh, interviewer to know more about you, how you handle such kind of pressures, and what strategies work to meet the deadline for that. What's the toughest accounting challenge you have solved? That's also is important to know what's the toughest accounting challenge you have solved. You will get a good sense of a potential hire's approach to problems if you make this a standard accounting interview question to ask applicants. top candidates will use it as a springboard to display their creativity, skills, and experience when it comes to resolving tricky accounting issues. What's the toughest accounting challenge you have solved in your in your earlier experience related to accounting and finance? And this is one of the essential questions we have to keep it for every uh, interview. Tell me about a time when you worked with a team to revise or improve an accounting process. What role did you take and how did the team work together to get the job done? Teamwork is more important than ever for accounting and finance professionals who frequently must work extensively with team within the outside of their department. When you ask these interview questions, listen for signs that the candidate will be strong collaborator or even a future leader. So the working with the team and teamwork is essential in all the departments. So the teamwork and how you yourself are able to collaborate with the other departments, other candidates, other team, that's important to know. And that's the reason this question should be there. And the last, why did you choose accounting and finance as a career? We included this in our list of accounting interview questions to ask every time because it can reveal a lot about a job seeker's core intentions for pursuing a position with your firm. Look for candidates who show passion for the accounting and finance industry, not just the stability or potential salary a career in finance often promises. Very important. And this, why did you choose accounting and finance as a career? So I also used to ask this question to every candidate. And whenever I'm conducting the online training as well, I used to ask the same questions. And when I'm taking the offline coaching classes as well for 11th and 12th and BCom students, I used to ask the same questions. Why did you choose accounting and finance? So to know that either you have the passion about the accounting and finance or you just join that knowing you don't have any options or something like that, or you done the graduations into accounting and finance in the commerce, so after that there is no any option, so how to join the accounting and finance, so we are just working. So that's not the a good thing to know that. So looking towards that, the someone should be more passionate about accounting and finance, and that's going to be work. And if you have the passions, then it's a good industry to grow as well. You will have an easier time developing and retaining professionals who truly love what they do each day. That's more important. So you will have an easier time developing and retaining professionals who truly love what they do each day. That's important. That's 100% important. If you don't have the passion about your work and if you are just doing your job, then that's not going to be creative any good out output from your work. So try to be find out someone who are truly love what they do each day. So that's the 10 questions from this. And hiring is one of the most important things you do as a small business managers. Of course, every job opening and interview is different, and you should adjust your list of interview questions to ask accordingly. But when you use accounting interview questions like these as a jumping off point, you will get a good pictures of each candidate's skills and aptitudes, which in turn will bring you one step closer to building the ideal team for your business. So that's all from this video. Thanks guys for being with us till uh, end of this video. So the request viewers to like the video, share the video, and subscribe our channel to get the more practical knowledge related to accounting and finance. If you want to connect with us, you can drop an email or you can reach with us on our email ID accounts.gurukul@yahoo.com. Thank you.